So it is in these communities that I focus my work, and I've seen how media can be uplifted in terms of the way that they can empower young people to pursue their dreams, that they can provide them with a critical lens in which to view the world and figure out what they're going to do next. It's sort of like, just a reference here really quickly, an opportunity to go out and provide a young person with an instrument, a tool, a probe, or as Gordon Park is talking about, a choice of weapons, a way to move through the world. Yeah. So, with that, I'd like to start up. Sorry, technology coming online now. So I call this this presentation Intersections, right? Because I believe the work that I do, that we do, really lies at this unique intersection of youth, media, technology, culture, and politics. And I'm really intrigued by intersections. I'm fascinated by what happens at intersections. I mean, oftentimes when I think of traveling to a city, what I envision is myself standing at one of those great intersections in that city, kind of taking it all in. People walking up and down the street, catching hold of little pieces of conversations, phrases, large or small, 42nd Broadway, Michigan and Woodward, or Mission and 24th in San Francisco. I stand there watching, listening, recognizing, pulled to these places to take in and feel the pulse of the community or city, try to discern what's different about it since the last time I was here. What's new here? What's news? This is where the young folks come. I hope that I can convey to you my enthusiasm and excitement about what I see happening at these intersections. So I wanted to present some examples to you of some young people that I've worked with, that I've observed doing work, and let you know of the good work that is happening out there in the community. This into the what I want them to hear. But I thought this was, I was going to put the mic up here, but that's okay. Plug it into the audio. Okay. Sorry. And move it over. Okay. Got it. Am I good? It's out. Okay. All right. Thank you. So, I wanted to start off with this idea of what's the new what. Okay. Now, at Youth Radio, have folks heard of the What's the New What series at Youth Radio? Okay. What's the New What is a kind of rhetorical device, a thing that we put out there to the young folks that we're working with to kind of get them to kind of go deeper into a subject, deeper into a topic, right? It spurs sort of like not only their inquiry that goes towards developing a more effective story or content asset. It also is something that goes towards their development as sort of like thinkers, right, and as doers. So I wanted to play an example for those of you who have not heard What's New What. It's a series actually. It actually turned into a series that played last year, and I want to play for you one of the most controversial and well documented blogs that we have for one of our pieces.
What's the new what? Sex without a condom is the new engagement ring. My generation is known to threat of HIV/AIDS our entire lives, and sex without a condom isn't something we enter into lightly. For a lot of my friends, the transition from having sex with to sex without a condom is seen as a symbolic engagement. It shows trust, commitment, and the prospect of a shared future. An engagement more practical than spending money on a piece of jewelry for a marriage that might not pass the test of time. Now, close your eyes, and envision a classic love story. It sounds a bit like this, right? Engagement 2.0 goes something more like this. First, a couple has an intense sit-down, during which they decide they're ready to trash those Trojans. If things are right to take that plunge, they swap that trip down the aisle for a hand-in-hand down the health clinic hallway, where they get screened for STDs and choose a method of birth control, such as pills, patches, or shots. Losing the latex doesn't mean the young folks are looking to have babies. On the contrary, the majority want to steer clear of children and disease while enjoying the pleasures of healthy sex.
To have sex without a condom is to say that I trust you and I love you and I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
If I make a decision to, skip the condom process, then, it's safe to say I love you without me saying that.
A ring is very temporary. You can sort of just take that ring off. Whereas, if you don't use condoms and you get an STD, then it's sort of a much less temporary result of your engagement than a tan line on your finger.
Do you take this disease-free person to be your sexual partner?
I do.
By the power vested in me, I now pronounce sex without a condom the new engagement ring.
You see, man, to me, it's like thick and thin, and I promise forever.
What's the new what? Sex?
So, I don't know, did anyone hear that story when it originally aired on National Public Radio? That story that week on National Public Radio was the most talked about story at their site. This story went viral for youth radio in terms of people sending, forwarding it to friends, talking about it at their MySpace page, and basically texting and commenting back to Drew Harshaw, who was the author of this story, all kinds of comments that range from like, dude, man, that was like so the it to like, man, are you crazy, man? Sex without a condom is the new engagement ring? Well, as I said, the idea about what's to do what is that it kind of pushes folks a little bit out of the box. Not only the young person who's doing the examination of the particular issue, right? But also the audience as well. And so, really, it serves as a way in which to, provoke thinking about what is happening with our young people out there in the communities. It is actually a very real phenomenon that is happening in our communities, that sex is thought of as the new engagement ring. And so, in airing on an outlet such as NPR, one of the things that it is asking us to engage in, that the author is asking us to engage in, is what are we going to do about that? The jokes later. It starts now. So, through this process, we've developed some really great writers and commentators at Youth Radio, and I'd like to introduce one now, King Anye Howe, and his voice you will also hear on the NPR quite regularly. As a matter of fact, he was just on last Thursday, and he was talking about having beer with the president.